Wilkinson is a freelance illustrator based in London. He enjoys robots, meat, dinosaurs, comics, trainers, jam, mittens, biscuits, Star Wars, guitars, skateboarding, ale and monsters. How did you come up with your unique style of drawing?
It's hard to say really. It's come together by sort of like all the sort of styles of illustration that I've enjoyed since I was really little. I was really into Quentin Blake when I was a tiny little kid. I'm really into Chris Ware now. And my dad is an art teacher, and so he sort of really encouraged me to draw from like a toddler. So I've been drawing my entire life, and yeah, it keeps on changing, keeps on evolving. Like every project I do, really, I try and do a little bit different rather than sticking to the same thing over and over again, which can be a bit problematic sometimes. But yeah, it's evolved. It's not really been a way that I've decided to draw. It's just a way that it's come about. Accidental is maybe the way.
With your unique style, do you think it restricts the work you get from clients?
Yeah, definitely, but not a terrible way. I mean, I get a lot of editorial work for magazines and newspapers and stuff like that. I mean, I'll never be asked to do Grey's Anatomy or anything like that, or anything really detailed, or any architectural drawing or anything. But it is generally a lot more sort of tongue-in-cheek subject matter that I'm asked to illustrate, which you'll see in the talk later on.
How would you suggest standing out from the crowd in order to get work?
That's a hard one. Basically, I think what you should do is show that you enjoy the work you're doing, and show that you're having fun with it, and that generally shows through your work. If you really enjoy and you're really excited about the work you're producing, then that should show up in the work that you've made. And I find like the work that I get really excited about when I'm drawing it, that's the work that people talk to me about, because it shows that you enjoy what you're doing. So it's just enjoy the work you're doing, and that's one way of doing it. Oh, and promote yourself a lot. Get on blogs and stuff.
What inspired you to become an illustrator?
I think through my mum reading me stories when I was little, especially like George's Marvellous Medicine and stuff like that, generally Quentin Blake again. And I remember being very little and having the books and flicking through the books, and then you see these amazing big drawings, and they're just really exciting, and they make you excited to read the book more. And also, like I said, my dad and stuff like that. I collect comic books since I've been very little. So I've got loads of stuff, and it's yeah, it's just that really. It's I think being little and being read to, and watching cartoons, generally being a kid, and sort of not really growing up that much.
Do you prefer the freedom of working on projects, such as the one where you are working on walls, or do you prefer tighter, constraining print projects?
They're really different. They're totally different animals. It's like the one on the walls was really pressured because it was timed and it was live, and there was probably about 300 or 400 people there, and it's very different to say I get a brief from a teacher's magazine, and they will literally list down exactly what they want to the finest detail. Like there was for example, there's one I did where they wanted a staff room scene, and they want little bits of rubbish on the floor. They want someone making a cup of tea, stirring the tea, stuff like that, and that can be really easy for you as an editorial illustrator to know exactly what you've got to do, because the deadlines are so tight. If you do that, get that done and send it off, that can be really good in a brief sometimes, but the live ones are totally different because it all relies on your imagination, and so they can be really hard, but at the same time they can be really fun.
If you weren't a talented illustrator, what would you be doing?
I've always wanted to sort of like stay within sort of creative stuff. I thought about going to film school. I kind of want to own a little gallery, like a little print shop or something like that. So it'd always be based around. But yeah, that's a really hard one. I've always thought I wanted to be an illustrator since I was about 4. So it's nothing else has really been considered.
Why is your website name Robbie Brown Shoes?
When I was about 14, so that was about, that was about 12 years ago, we'd just got the internet in our house, and my friend came around and he was telling me that I could choose anything I want as my email address, anything in the world, and so I really didn't know what to put, and I saw a pair of brown shoes, and I chose like Robbie's Brown Shoes at Hotmail as my website address, and it's really mundane. It's not like me being witty or anything like that. It was just an accident. I couldn't think of anything else, and I've kept the same email address since I was 14, and it's just always stuck. And then when I got to university and did illustration, Marcus Oakley is a really good illustrator, really good illustrator. He came in and he was talking to us about monikers and pseudonyms and stuff, and he was saying that because when he's not called Marcus Oakley, he's called Mr. Werewolf. So he was saying you should choose sometimes, if you feel like it's right for you, you should choose a different name to promote yourself as, like Mr. Bingo or Matthew the Horse or people like that. So I chose my email address predominantly because I couldn't be bothered to change my email address. I'm really lazy, pretty much. That's how I came up with it, being lazy.